was doing pretty well this month until I pretty much smashed my budget with this last pickup. Alright everyone, hope you are doing well. Thanks for pressing play once again. I'm the man they call Pixel Paul, and I'm back with some new gaming pickups. New pickups for this month. I haven't bought loads this month, I must admit. I have been trying to budget, I've been trying to save the pennies. I haven't been buying as many games. That being said, the last pickup that I made probably smashed my budget a little bit. It was a bit of an impulse buy, but what can you do? Sometimes temptation gets the better of you, doesn't it? We've all been there. We all know what I'm talking about. So yeah, nothing too fancy about this one. It's just purely going to be all about the games, what I've picked up in the last week or two. So let's get straight into it. Right, cheers everyone. Okay, so before I get into the pickups, I can't let this video go by without just mentioning a game that's been announced today. So it's Friday the 28th of February. And I woke up this morning to a quick video of a game, and when I first looked at it and saw the trailer for it, I was thinking, is this a wind-up? Is this some sort of like homebrew kind of game? And I wasn't 100% sure, and then later on in the day it kind of got officially announced, and yeah, it just looks absolutely amazing. I cannot wait for it. Terminator 2D, new, what is it, new, No Fate? I think it's No Fate is the full sort of name of it. Oh my god, that game looks awesome. I'm hoping it's not, it's going to be as good as it looks. But yeah, Terminator 2, 16-bit type game, coming out on PlayStation 5, Xbox, PlayStation 4, Switch, around September time. Just looks amazing. I love the Terminator. I love Terminator 2. There's no other Terminator films after that, is there? No. So that looks absolutely amazing. Terminator 2, back in 1992, it got games. There's a couple, there's a few of games of the film, but they weren't that great. It's a bit of a shame, really. It was a bit of a waste of a license, but this looks like the game that we would have absolutely loved back in the day, had it been on the SNES or on the Mega Drive. Oh, it just looks amazing. Anyway, I just wanted to mention it because it looks amazing. If you've not heard of it, look it up. Terminator 2D, No Fate. Looks brilliant. Anyway, let's get on with the pickup. So mainly games from CEX, but I've also made 2 online purchases as well. So I'm going to bookend this with the 2 online purchases. So we'll have a look at the first one. Now, I have actually already opened this one, but for those of you who do like a little bit of unboxing ASMR, I did record this. There you go. For those of you who like the sound of a freshly opened box, that's just for you. So the game that I've got, I got it from the game collection online. So this is the second purchase I've made from them. Brilliant site, amazing game supplier, this one. I am really happy to have sort of come across this site, and I was made aware of it really on Instagram by a few guys on there. And yeah, it's just a really good site. So I've got this at a really good price, free postage, came within 2 days of ordering it as well. And I'm really excited to give this game a go. And I will also give a shout out to Whizbits Random Gaming, because I saw it on his channel. We're both quite big fans of the classic kind of scrolling beat 'em up. He's done loads of videos, sort of gameplay videos of scrolling beat 'em ups on his channel. And games like Streets of Rage 4, Turtles, and there's a couple of others I think on there as well. And yeah, he's bought this game recently. I'd never heard of it before. It is another scrolling beat 'em up, but yeah, immediately sort of sparked my interest in it. And I think it was a couple of days later after I'd seen that video that I saw it on the game collection. I think immediately after seeing it on his video, I'd looked at it on CEX and it was £20, and I thought it's possibly a little bit too much. No copies near me either, but I saw it on the collection net, the game collection online, and it was £12.95 with free postage for a brand new copy as well. So I think it's an absolute steal, this one. And the game is Dragon Crown Pro. That is the name, isn't it? Dragon's Crown Pro. Yeah, so this is a scrolling beat 'em up, done in a kind of more Golden Axe fantasy kind of setting, and it just looks absolutely amazing. I cannot wait to give this a go. Possibly the box pictures don't possibly do it justice enough, but it does. It looks so good. And yeah, just a sort of classic side-scrolling beat 'em up. I think there's RPG elements to it as well, made by Vanillaware, and I think there was a PlayStation 3 version of this as well. And I think the PS3 version goes for for a pretty penny these days. So yeah, getting this PlayStation 4 version for that price, I thought that was really good, and cannot wait to give this one a go. So that was from the game collection, and it was recommended in a way to me by Whizbits Random Gaming. So I'll link both of those in the description, so you can check them both out if you haven't already. So that was my first online purchase for this week. So I'll go on to the CEX purchases. And it's a bit of a mixed bunch, but there's some goodies in here. So the first one I got was Lemmings on the PlayStation 2. Never played this version of Lemmings before. I've got various other versions of Lemmings. I've got the Mega Drive version, Game Boy version, just those two really. But yeah, Lemmings is Lemmings. We will see what the PlayStation 2 version is like. £4 paid for that one, which isn't too bad really, and it's in actually pretty decent condition. In fact, it's in really good condition. The manual's very crispy, and disc is nice and clean as well. So yeah, happy with that one. It's quite good actually, because I've noticed on the back it says about using the iToy. Remember the iToy, the sort of PlayStation 2 camera toy, which I think was a bit. I thought that was an alright gadget at the time. There was a couple of games which were alright for it. But yeah, you can use the iToy in this, like there, and you can make yourself turn into a bridge to help the Lemmings. So I thought that was quite clever really, quite a nice little addition. I'll probably never use it because, if I'm honest, I don't even know where my iToy is. It's upstairs somewhere. But yeah, Lemmings, PlayStation 2, £4, happy with that. Make room on this table. And next up, this was a little bit more pricey. Not massively pricey, but a bit more pricey. It's a PSP game, one I haven't got obviously, and it is Tomb Raider Anniversary, and that was £6. Yeah, I mean, looking back now, I'm thinking, gosh, you spent £6 on that. But yeah, I've not got this one on PSP. I never played it on the PSP. I've got it on the PlayStation 2. And I do have the Xbox 360 version as well. So this is another one of those Tomb Raider, Lara Croft games where I'm starting to pick up multiple copies of it. The same game on different formats. I'm probably not far off having all. Well, there's going to be a few more versions of Anniversary as well. I'm trying to think what else there would be. I don't think there was a DS version, was there? Don't think so. PlayStation 2. Xbox 360. I'm pretty sure there was a 360. Yeah, there is a 360 version. I've got it up there. So yeah, I think all I probably need now is a few sort of different versions of Tomb Raider Underworld, and I'll probably have most of this trilogy on most of the formats available. Yeah, crazy really, but there you go. So yeah, Tomb Raider Anniversary on the PSP, £6 paid for that one. This next one is a little bit of a punt, really. I wasn't 100% sure what it was. I think I have seen it before, but not that often. Relatively sort of cheap. Xbox 360, £4. Kingdom Under Fire, Circle of Doom. Yeah, this was one of those where you just kind of pick it up, think, I haven't seen it, I haven't played it, I haven't got it. Let's just grab it while we've seen it. And yeah, it looks alright. Action RPG. So it will sort of sit with my other 360 RPGs. And it is an Xbox 360 exclusive, apparently. So, yeah, if I'm going to play an RPG, an action RPG is one that I would more likely go to. So we'll see what that's like. Again, sort of pretty decent condition, that one. So, yeah, happy with that. Well, happy until I've probably played it, but there you go. Kingdom Under Fire, Circle of Doom. Speaking of condition, so I have picked this one up. In fairness, the disc and the manual's alright. It's mainly just the box is really grubby on this, but it's easily swapped out. I'm not going to be able to clean it up. I don't think it's too ingrained into it, the sticky stuff. But this, I think this is a game that's sort of come down in price recently. I think the PlayStation 3 version is still pretty expensive. I'm going to go with about £16 to £18 on PlayStation 3. I think this version, not that long ago, was around that price as well. And it was certainly above £15, I'm sure it was. But it's come down to £8 recently, I think. And at that price, I thought, let's grab that now. Because I had fancied getting it, fancied playing it for a while. And that game is Nier on 360. So yeah, I've not played either of the Nier games, because there's obviously Nier and there is Nier Replicant, which is basically, is it sort of the Japanese version of this on the newer consoles? I think it is. And then Automata is kind of like the sequel. I could be wrong there. I'm totally new to this series, so I don't 100% know, but I think that's how it sort of sits. So yeah, looking forward to playing this one. It is one that I've been wanting to add to the collection for a bit, either on Xbox or PlayStation 3. Gone for 360 because it's a lot cheaper. So yeah, £8. I think that's not a bad buy that now, because like I say, I think that was pricing in a lot more not that long ago really. So yeah, just needs a new box, because look at the state of it. It's pretty messy. Doesn't come across on the camera particularly, but once I get a new box for that will look lovely. But yeah, nice. Everything else is pretty decent condition really. Disc was alright and instructions, so yeah, good one, that one. And then next up, again, this is kind of like a game that I've thought about getting before, and I remember seeing it in a car boot sale once. I said this about another game recently where I'd seen it in a car boot sale, could have got it for £1, but didn't grab it, and it's been on my mind ever since. I have this thing where if I start to think about a game that I would like to get, or you know, the thought sort of springs into my mind, it tends to stay with me, and I think about that game, and you know, having not picked it up, and should I have picked it up, and eventually I will pick it up. I think the reason I didn't pick this one up from the car boot sale was that it was really scratched and there was no manual. So at that price, it just, yeah, I think it was more than £1 they wanted for it. Actually, it was like £4 or £5 they wanted, but with no disc, with no manual, and the disc was in a dodgy condition. I left it. So I finally picked it up. CEX again, Reservoir Dogs on the PlayStation 2. We'll see what this is like. I'm not the world's biggest Reservoir Dogs fan. I think the film's alright. I've only actually ever watched it once. And I just thought, yeah, it's okay. I must admit, with Tarantino films, I can either take them or leave them, really. You know, they're okay, but I don't know. Some of them I just can't get into. Pulp Fiction was alright. But yeah, in general, I'm kind of a bit of a, yeah. But yeah, Reservoir Dogs, the game, we'll see what this is like. I think it's quite short. If I did have a quick look at some reviews, and I think for games of this kind, it's kind of quite short. It's not the longest game ever, which is, for me at the moment, it's probably not a bad thing. So it means I might be able to give it a quick go, and if it's sort of, you know, a shortish playtime, maybe complete it as well. So we'll see what that's like anyway. Reservoir Dogs, £5. Again, nice and complete. So yeah, we'll see what that one's like. Next up, so again, you know I like a steelbook, so I saw this and I had to get it because I think I have seen it before, but not many times. But for £5, I thought, well, I'll grab that because it looks like quite a good one, and it is the Super Deluxe Edition of Borderlands 3 on the PlayStation 4 for £5. And a steelbook as well. So if we get that out, and it's quite a nice one actually. Nice steelbook, just getting the lens glare there, but yeah, it's quite a good one, that one. I like that. Not too much going on in the middle, but that's the full steelbook there. So another steelbook added to the collection, because you know I like a steelbook. If I see them and they're cheap enough, I will always pick them up. Borderlands 3, again, I'm sort of not a huge fan of Borderlands. I know like Borderlands 4 I think, has just been announced recently. Is there potential for these games to go up in value a bit when that comes out? Possibly not, but we'll see, you never know. But yeah, it's quite nice, that one. I quite like the look of it. It's quite a good looking cover and steelbook's just another steelbook for the collection, really. But I might actually give that a go at some point. But yeah, for a £5, I thought that was worth picking up. Right, this last one, well, it's not the last one, second to last one from CEX. So this game, this game came back into my attention it was a week or so ago. So I think I'd posted a picture of Ace Combat on the PSP on my Instagram account. And a few people were actually sort of surprised that there was a Ace Combat game on the PSP. And it's alright, actually, the PSP game. It's not bad. And I think it was Kai Maffey, actually. Shout out to Kai Maffey. Make sure you subscribe to his channel because it's awesome as well. I think he'd sort of mentioned about this game from the Ace Combat series, and it just went back into my mind. And I got the game on the Xbox 360. It's in there, and played that back in the day, and really, really, really enjoyed it. It's totally my kind of game. I do love aerial dogfight games. I just think they're really, I don't know, there's just something about them. I love the Star Wars games that have that kind of aerial dogfight scenario in it, you know, like the Battlefront games, especially the PlayStation 4 first Battlefront game. That was really good. I liked Star Wars Squadrons. I just like any sort of flying game where there's combat involved. And I do like the Ace Combat games as well. So yeah, just put this one back on my radar. I'd played it on the Xbox 360 back in the day. I remember I didn't finish it because it glitched toward the end, and I can't remember what the glitch was, but it just stopped me from finishing the game. So yeah, talking about it again, I thought, if I see it on PlayStation 3, I'm going to pick up the PS3 version. And lo and behold, the next CEX I go into, and I knew it was relatively cheap. They had it, so I picked it up. And that game is, of course, Ace Combat Assault Horizon. I absolutely love this game. And I must admit, as soon as we got home, I booted this back into the PlayStation 3 and gave it a go, and just fell in love with it again. I just think it's really good. It's probably not one for the purists or anything like that, but it's just got this kind of arcadey action game feel to it. It's not too serious, it's not too hard to play, it's not too technical, but it just flies around at a pace. There's quite a nice bit of variation to it as well, where you go like into on-rail shooter sort of sections. So you'll sit in the side of a helicopter shooting a minigun. So that kind of breaks the game up a little bit, because the sort of aerial dogfight missions can be quite sort of long-winded. So just putting those sort of on-rail shooter bits in the middle of the game, or in the middle of missions, kind of just breaks it up a little bit. But yeah, I just absolutely love this game. I just think it's brilliant. So I got it for £4. It's been that price for a while. The Xbox 360 version that I've got is like a special edition version of it. So I think it's a standard box, but it comes in a bigger cardboard box with like a dossier or something like that. It's not an art book. It's some sort of, I think it might even be just like a notebook or something like that. But I've had that for forever. But yeah, nice to get this PlayStation 3 version of it. Actually comes with a bonus CD with the game soundtrack. The game disc isn't there because it's still on the PlayStation 3. So yeah, again, nice and complete with that bonus disc. £4. Absolutely love this game. If you've never played it, it's worth a look. It's very, very sort of cinematic, very much like a Michael Bay film. It's sort of turn your brain off, just enjoy and watch the explosions. Yeah, it's worth a play. I love it. It's just got something a little bit different. It's a little bit more arcadey, a little bit possibly dumbed down compared to some of the other Ace Combat games, possibly. But yeah, I just love this game. Right, the last game, and this is the second online pickup. Now this one's coming from Amazon, and like I said, I think at the start of the video, this was a little bit of an impulse buy. It wasn't. So I've been playing this game on PS Plus recently, and yeah, just sort of really got into it. The reviews for it were okay. Some places sort of rave about it, some places just say it's okay. But I've just really got into this game, and when I went and had a look to see if there were physical versions of it, because it's great playing it on PS Plus, and I've been playing it on the Portal. You know me, I just would rather as well have that physical copy of it. So I was looking online to see, where you can get it from, how much it was, etc. And one of the only places that seemed to sort of sell it in this version anyway was Amazon, and it was $27.95. So that kind of, I think that is probably more than most of those lot put together. Possibly not far off, maybe, but no, maybe a little bit less. But yeah, so it's kind of blown my budget a little bit. But I think it'll be worth it, and I have really enjoyed playing it. So I've not finished it, and I've kind of stopped playing it a little bit on PlayStation Plus. So it was from Amazon. Again, I have already opened it because I just wanted to have a look at it. But for those of you who like ASMR, there you go. So yeah, I have opened it, and the game is, I've got the PlayStation 5 version, and it is Fist, Forged in Shadow Torch. So when I was talking about this game, I think it was in one of my what I played in January videos. I couldn't remember what Fist actually stood for, and it's Forged in Shadow Torch. So this is kind of your Metroid kind of setup. It's like a 2D platformer. You travel through a map, picking up different kinds of abilities and power-ups that then open up different parts of the map, etc, etc. You know the score, you know what a Metroidvania game is. This one just, when I've started playing it, it just has that something a little bit different about it. It just looks great, sounds great, the voice acting is just a little bit different. It's just really well done. It's not perfect by any stretch, but yeah, I just really kind of got into it. It's set in this kind of animal-led, semi sort of steampunk kind of world, yeah, I just really enjoyed it so far. It's just really sort of captured my imagination. So this is the limited edition version of it. I haven't as yet opened it, but we could do that now. Yeah, we'll do that now. It's a nice little set, this. It is a steelbook as well. I should be able to get this open. I haven't been biting my nails recently. I am a lifelong biter of nails, and the last few weeks I decided I'm going to try and stop biting my nails. So, that's one of the advantages of doing that, because I can open these really easily. Oh, let's crack this open. After all these years, I still haven't got the hang of taking all this stuff off. New games. There we go. So we've got a nice slip cover there, and then inside, and I think there's quite a bit in there if I remember right. So we've got some sticker sheet. Whoa. They'll never get used. I'll just put them in the box, but they're quite nice. And then what are they called? Like lithographs? Is it lithograph? It is a lithograph. There is 3. There's the third one. So 3 lithographs. Lovely. I'll show you them all, but yeah. And that one. But you can sort of get a sense of the game, from those. Actually, it's quite good. It's almost like a sort of, it's not post-apocalyptic. It's just a kind of steampunk kind of world where animals are the inhabitants, and you play as a rabbit. I still wasn't sure actually if it was a rabbit. It is a rabbit, yeah. You play as a rabbit. Yeah, I think they're coming off the back of some sort of war as well, with like the dog tribe or something like that. I haven't quite grasped the storyline. Maybe I will do if I restart the playthrough. But yeah, it's kind of like they're coming off the back of this war with like dogs, and he was like they kind of used to drive these mechs, and that is what this is. This fist, it's kind of part of what that mech was, and he can still use that as his weapon. So it's just, yeah, it's like I said, it's just a little bit different that. But this is the steelbook, and that is quite nice. That is a really nice cover for a steelbook, actually. The artwork is gorgeous. Let's have a look at that. Look at that. That's brilliant. I love that. I don't know what you call that kind of art. I'm not sure. It's almost a bit like the Street Fighter 4 kind of artwork. Yeah, same sort of style as that. But yeah, I love that. That's brilliant. And the back of it as well is quite nice, just with the logo. It's almost kind of a rusted effect. It's not a rust effect, but it's kind of painted like a rust effect, so that's quite nice. And then inside we've got game soundtrack code there as well. I won't show you that because I might want to redeem that. And that's pretty much it, I think, in there. Oh, the inside's quite cool as well, actually. There's more artwork. Let's take that out so you can see the inside artwork as well. So this is actually a really nice little pack, actually. I know I paid £27 odd for it, but I'm quite happy with that. It's really nice. PlayStation 5 game as well, so, you know. But yeah, that's really nice. I love that, actually. That's cool. So what a nice nice set that is. Really happy with that, actually. I think that was worth the money. It was, like I say, it was a bit of an impulse buy. I was holding on, and I thought, well, I'll wait and see if it comes down a little bit cheaper, because sometimes on Amazon, you know, things go up and down in price. That's the disc. They do come up and down in price. But I think I think it was last weekend. My team, Bolton Wanderers, won a game. We won it really well, and I just came away from the ground on such a high. And when I got home, I was like, do you know what? I'm just going to order that game now because I'm so happy. And that's why I've ended up with it now. So yeah, I'm happy with that one. So I'm just going to put all that back in. But yeah, if you've got PlayStation Plus, it might be. I'd give it a go. I'd recommend it. If you like kind of those the Metroidvania kind of game, and you want something a little bit different, yeah, I'd recommend that one. It's been quite good so far. Fist, Forged in the Shadow Torch. And those are my pickups for the end of this month. Quite happy with those. I have blown my budget, but hey ho, we'll survive. We'll get there somehow. I have still got some games to sell. They are in that pile there, and I'm going to trade them into CEX at some point, I think, and get some CEX credit. Having said that, what I am actually finding at CEX is few and far between. I know I found a few there, but I am kind of starting to run out of things from there that I actually want. I think probably that lot I will trade in. I'm sure they were worth about 60, 70 quid actually. It's only about a pile of like 4 or 5 games, but they clocked in about 70 quid. So I could actually end up getting something really decent, something nice, you know, something a bit more retro, which I have got my eye on 1 or 2 things. But anyway, that's in the future. From this lot, really looking forward to playing Dragon's Crown. That looks really good. Can't wait to play that. Going to carry on playing that as well. Really enjoying that one. And I am going to play more of Ace Combat Assault Horizon because I love that game. I just do. It's just dumb but fun. But I fully recommend it. Again, I know I've said it 4 times already. Anyway, thank you for watching. As always, drop any sort of comments into the comment section below. Let me know if any of those are any good. If you played any of them, have you played Ace Combat? Have you played that? Yeah, just any comments about any of those games that I've picked up. Feel free to do it. I will always try to reply. Have a good one, and I will see you next time.